I saw you pace that tiny room, trying to breathe, trying to bloom. Your hands unsure, your eyes so wide, but you stood strong, I watched with pride. You didn't say the perfect word, but every silence still was heard. That was the moment you became more than the name you used to claim. You held a world inside your chest and gave your best. That was the day I watched you become me. I see it now from where I stand, how fear and love walk hand in hand. You made mistakes, but still you grew, and every choice was brave and true. I wish I could have said it then, but now I say it once again. That was the moment you became more than the life you tried to frame. You didn't know what you could be, but you were me. That was the day I watched you become me. And quiet doubt, I see the man I dreamt about. That was the moment love began, not just for a child, but for the man who learned to hold, to fall, to see, and carry me. That was the day I watched you become me. You became me. You don't have to know everything. It's okay to fall. You'll carry too much too soon and drop some of it, that's fine. Your voice will shake, but speak anyway. Your knees will hurt, but walk anyway. Dear me, my son, I've seen the storms ahead, some scars, yes, but also grace. You are more than enough. Don't chase their praise. Trust your own breath. The mirror won't always be kind, but you are. Let the silence teach. Let the wind forgive. You are loved even when you forget. Dear me, my son, I've seen the storms ahead, and you will make it through with some scars, yes, but also grace. You are more than enough. Dear me, my son, I've seen the storms ahead, and you will make it through with some scars, yes, but also grace. You are more than enough. There's a book I've written, page by page, through storms and dawns in every age. Folded corners, coffee stains, stories born from joy and pain. I read it now and I can see a map of all that made me. In this book you'll find my soul, moments when I lost control, but still I stood. I made it through, and now I pass it on to you. My son, these words may just be ink, but they're the bridges where we lean. I kept it close through all those years, wrote down laughter, marked my tears. I didn't know if you'd ever read, but somehow I knew you'd need not to follow every turn, but feel the strength I had to learn. In this book you'll find my soul, moments when I lost control, but still I stood. I made it through, and now I pass it on to you. My son, these lines may start to fade, but hold them close, they will not age. Someday you'll write your own, with battles fought and seeds you've sown. But if you're ever feeling small, let my pages break your fall. In this book you'll hear my voice telling you you have a choice, to love, to fail, to rise again, to call your pain a wiser friend. When you can't find your way through, this book will always speak to you. I checked the mirror twice that day, folded notes of what to say. Nervous hands, a smile too wide, but I was proud to stand beside. You laughed at every clumsy line, but somehow it felt just right. That was the day the world slowed down, when just your name could turn me around. I didn't know if love would stay, but I remember that day. I remember that day. Now I sit with quiet eyes, thinking back a sweet surprise. That boy in me still feels the glow from holding hands so long ago. And though the years have found their pace, I still can feel that first embrace. That was the day the world slowed down. Your laughter pulled me off the ground. I didn't know if love would stay, but I remember that day. I remember that day. It's funny how some things don't fade. A glance, a blush, a choice we made. No grand fireworks in the sky, just you and me and a reason why. That was the day the world slowed down, when just your name could turn me around. We didn't know what time would say, but I remember that day. Still remember that day. I was quiet at the table, lost in my day. Bills and memories piling up in gray. Then you looked up with eyes so clear and said you always try your best, don't fear. It was just a line so small, so light, but it pulled me back into the light. That one sentence held the sky, took my worries, let me cry. In your voice I heard my own, little me now fully grown. You didn't know, but in your way you saved my heart that day. You reached for your glass, just like I do, smiled and nodded, just passing through. But in that glance I saw the thread, the quiet strength, the words unsaid. And I thought of my own dad's eyes, how he held me without goodbye. That one sentence held the sky, took my worries, let me cry. In your voice I heard my own, little me now fully grown. You didn't know, but in your way you taught me it's okay to try. In your voice I found my truth, from a boy who's growing just like youth. You didn't know, but in your way you saved your dad that day. In the mirror I see a face that's tried endlessly. Though the world feels heavy, I know I'm ready. You can do this, I believe. Even when the nights deceive, hold on to the light inside. Let your fears subside. Let your fears subside. Steps may falter, paths unclear, but courage whispers near. Every stumble, every fall builds the strength to stand tall. You can do this, I believe. Even when the nights deceive, hold on to the light inside. Let your fear subside. You can do this, I believe. Even when the nights deceive, hold on to the light inside. Let your fear subside. Let your fear subside. You held your breath all day, wore a smile that wasn't yours. Listened more than you spoke, said it's fine 100 times. I saw you at the crosswalk, waiting for the light. Shoulders heavy, but you stood upright. You did enough today. You showed up, that's brave. Even silence counts, even small steps save. You don't have to shine, just come back home. You did enough today. You watched others climb while you stood still, but no one sees the strength it takes not to quit. I remember you, not for winning, but for staying and breathing through the noise. You did enough today. You showed up, that's brave. Even silence counts, even small steps save. You don't have to shine, just come back home. You did enough today. You left the building, not with pride but pain. You thought it meant you weren't enough again. But what they called the end was just your turn to breathe. Not a failure, just a pause. You're not behind, there's no race to win. Your story's your own. You begin where you begin. Some chapters close, so others may open wide. You're not behind, you're just alive. You didn't say much, just packed your dreams in silence. But they were never small, only resting. And no one else can walk your way. This detour is still forward. You're not behind, there's no race to win. Your story's your own. You begin where you begin. Some chapters close, so others may open wide. You're not behind, you're just alive. You're just alive. You're not behind, there's no race to win. Your story's your own. You begin where you begin. Some chapters close, so others may open wide. You're not behind, you're just alive. Was lost and no one saw me break. Your silent strength was the ground beneath my faith. You didn't speak much, but your hands told the truth. In every little thing you gave me quiet proof. Your love was always here, even when I looked away, like the light that fills the room, but never asked to stay through the noise, through the years. One thing stayed clear, your love was always near. still feel your touch in the wind and the stars. That gentle love meant so much. Your love was always here, even when I looked away, like the light that fills the room, but never asked to stay through the noise, through the years. One thing stayed clear: your love was always near, was always near. I saw you there, too young to see the weight you carry quietly. But even then, behind your eyes that burned a fire, brave and wide. And I remember every fall, each time you stood up after all. It wasn't your fault, my son, my friend. You did your best again and again. You held your breath, you faced the storm, not knowing you were being born. Through all the doubts you ever knew, you built the man that brought me through. And now I stand because you did. I'm proud of who you were and who you hid. They never saw what I could see, a heart that tried relentlessly. You thought you failed, but you were right to keep on walking toward the light. And if you ever ask again, was I enough? Did I pretend? I'll say it clear with all my voice: you were the reason, not the noise. It wasn't your fault, my younger me. You walked through fire to set me free. So here I stand, a brighter day, because you never walked away. You didn't run, you didn't call, you just walked while the sky fell too. The world was wet, so no one saw the tears you didn't hide. The rain and me, we walked together together. No umbrella, just the end of forever. And though your hands were empty, you still held on to something you couldn't name. You passed the cafe you knew too well, where her laughter used to ring, and still you walked with broken grace through memories, through the rain and me, we walked together. No umbrella, just the end of forever. You didn't break, you didn't fade. You were soft but strong that day. You left the room, head hanging low. Dreams once bright, now hard to show. You thought you failed, you blamed yourself, but you just needed time and someone else. You were too young to carry that weight, too strong to let your heart break. But no one told you it's okay to stop, to cry, to walk away. It wasn't your fault, you did what you knew. The world was too loud and no one saw you. But here I am now, with eyes that see, and I'm proud of the man you were trying to be. You tried so hard to stand up tall, while watching all your plans just fall. But every fall, each silent night, was one more step toward getting it right. I wish I could have held your hand and told you this was not the end. But sometimes losing is the way to find the words you need to say. Someday you'll see what I now know. The seed was deep, but it had to grow. It wasn't your fault. You did what you could. You were brave even when misunderstood. So here's my hand and here's my voice. You made the hard but honest choice. We walked too close, then stepped away. Too many words we didn't say. You smiled and kicked a little stone. I laughed but felt so far from grown. I tried to seem cool but failed every line. You leaned in slowly and blurred all of time. That was our first kiss, a moment wrapped in sunlight and bliss. I didn't know how love begins, but I knew I'd never forget this. Our first kiss. You taste like peach and summer rain. My heart was wild, I can't explain. Your eyes were closed but mine peeked through, to make sure dreams like this came true. The wind held still, the world stepped aside, and in that hush we both took flight. That was our first kiss, a spark that I still can't dismiss. No fancy lines, no practice spin, just your lips and skin. Our first kiss. Ooh, oh, maybe we were too young to know what love would mean or where we'd go. But that one kiss, it stays so clear, like a whisper only I can hear. That was our first kiss, still glowing in the heart I miss. I didn't know how love would end, but I knew right there I found a friend. Our first kiss. I still remember that shaky breath, the way your hand erased my death. Two kids pretending not to care, but love was floating in the air. You leaned so slow, the world stood still, and in that hush I felt the thrill. That's why there's a smile on my face. After all this time, you still have a place in memories that softly glow, where that young boy I got to know the sweetest grace. The way the sunlight kissed your cheek, how just one touch could make me weak. No grand design, no perfect line, just just your lips meeting mine. And though the years have come and gone, the gentle spark still lingers on. That's why there's a smile on my face. In the quiet you still find your space. I've loved and lived through joy and pain, but that one kiss still remains a warm embrace. I could whisper through the years to that young man full of fears, I'd say you'll carry this with grace, that smile on your face. And that's why there's a smile on my face, more than just a time or place. It's where love first touched my soul and gently made me whole with her embrace. That smile on my face. You smiled across the table and my hands forgot their fear. I knew my life would change the moment you sat near. I didn't know what love would ask, but I knew I wouldn't run. That was the day I said yes to your heart and all the rest. Not just to love, but to the weight of promises that wouldn't break. I was afraid, but I said yes, yes. You laughed like morning sunshine and I saw a world begin, where I was not just someone, but someone you could believe in. I didn't feel quite ready, but somehow I became steady. That was the day I said yes to the future, to the test, to holding hands through every storm, to building fire and keeping warm. I was unsure, but I said yes. And now years have passed us by, but when I close my eyes, I still see that younger man, brave enough to take your hand. That was the day I said yes, not to perfect, but to best, to grow and learn and fall into, but never walking out on you. I was in love, and I said yes. You were running every morning, chasing time like it owed you gold. Every scar you wore with honor, every step brave and bold. Then one day you had to stop, a body loud with pain and shock, and you asked, is this the end? But I was watching, old friend. The pause was part of the plan, not a weakness, just a hand that said slow down and breathe again. You were not broken, you were just bent. The pause was part of the plan. You thought rest was for the fallen, not for someone strong like you. But healing is its own kind of calling. It takes courage to sit with truth, and in the quiet you found grace. In the waiting you found your pace. The pause was part of the plan, not a failure, not a bend. It was the world giving you space to find new rhythm, find your place. The pause was part of the plan, and now I see the strength it took to stay still, to read the book of your own heart. Page by page, you learn more in that cage. The pause was part of the plan. It made you more of who I am. You didn't fall, you just began again and better than you ran. The pause was part of the I tried to smile, though I was scared. Felt like no one really cared. Too many voices, too much noise. I lost the sound of my own voice. I thought growing up meant hiding pain, so I wore a mask in the pouring rain. When I didn't know how to stand, I just hoped someone would understand. I wasn't brave, I was just there, hoping someone might still care. When I didn't know what was right, I cried alone most every night. Everyone said, just push on through, but no one showed me what to do. I played the part, I learned the lines, but felt so lost most of the time. I told myself, don't make a sound, and still the world kept spinning round. When I didn't know how to try, I just waited asking why. I wasn't strong, I felt so small, afraid to stumble, scared to fall. When I didn't know what to say, I just wished it'd go away. But somewhere deep inside when I didn't know how to dream. You were the one who dreamed for me. I see you now so far ahead. Thanks for every tear I shed when I didn't know how to cope. You kept me holding on to hope. You lost more than words could show. Dreams like paper torn and thrown. You sat in silence holding fear, but I was always watching near. It felt like all you had was gone, but even then you carried on. You were still you through the storm, bruised and tired, but still warm. You thought you'd fail, but truth was clear. You showed the strength to still be here. You were still you. The world turned cold, the phone stayed quiet. You faced the dark, didn't hide it. And though you broke, you didn't fall. You stayed yourself through it all. I know the nights you couldn't sleep, but still you climbed out from the deep. You were still you, and no one saw when life had stripped you to the raw. You thought you'd lost your name, your way, but I was proud of you that day. You were still you. And someday when the lights return, you'll see what you helped me learn. You were still you, heart and flame. No shame could ever steal your name. You walked through fire, cold and blue, but stayed the kind of man I knew. You were still you. You were still you. I remember that cold, quiet room where dreams laid down beside your pain. You tried so hard to stand again, but the world just wouldn't wait. The mirror said you're falling behind, but I saw courage in your eyes. You worked through every ache and tear, still thinking you weren't enough. You were trying, even when your knees gave in. You were fighting when your hands began to shake. If I could go back just one night, I'd sit beside you, hold your hand, say rest, don't run, just breathe for now. You're not broken, you're just tired. You were trying, even when the lights grew dim. You were shining, even if you couldn't see. No applause, no stage, just you. But that was strength, that was truth. You were trying, and I'm proud of you. Oh, yes, you were trying, and now I see you through. I came home with tired shoes. The same old day, the same old news. You held a test with shaking hands and smiled before I could understand. The world stood still in that small room. I heard your laugh, I felt the bloom. That was the day you came to me, without a face, without a name, but somehow changed my every dream. The moment I would never be the same. You came to me. We didn't sleep, we barely spoke, just held our fears beneath our coats. But in your eyes I saw the light that made the shadows feel alright. And though we didn't have a plan, that tiny soul was in our hands. That was the day you came to me. A silent song, a sacred flame, the start of who I'm meant to be. The moment I would never be the same. Oh, you came to me, and I became more than just a man. With trembling heart I tried to stand. That was the day you came to me. The weight, the grace, the quiet rain. I knew no matter what would be, I'd never be the same. Oh, you came to me. You came to me.